So anybody that's been following this page for a couple of months, for a while now, y'all know that I have spoken on Justin Bieber, on Diddy, on Jay-Z, Clive Davis, Usher. I've spoken on a lot of people. And I was just searching for some topics to talk about for Let's Talk About It on Instagram. Long story short, I had saw a post on the Jasmine brand that had to deal with catfish and a girl leaving. And then somebody commented below, hey, she's leaving because her and Eve have some issues. Sloan talked about it, whatever. So that prompted me to go to Sloan's channel to try to see whatever video it was where I guess she was talking about catfish. And I stumbled upon this video that she ended up posting a couple of days ago. And you know, Sloan right now is very popular because she was also one of the people who, you know, infamously put out there about Diddy and Kim Porter, and accurately also predicted that certain things would be happening. So this is going to be a different type of video. Like I said, I've been very vocal about a lot of stuff for a long time now, and I just want to see what Sloan has to say about Justin Bieber and if it aligns with anything that I've already felt or I've already channeled, I've already put out there. And yeah, so different type of video here, but we're gonna get into it.
Let's talk about it.
I want people to have fun. Let's kick back. Let's get into a little tea. Let's not get too crazy, but let's enjoy the sip.
Clock that tea.
But let's get to the chi-chi, the kiki, the internet bull.
So let me just tell y'all something. This is my I live for this type of and when any
Sound like you on the wrong show, baby. You can't dance, but you can fight. Don't that qualify you for baddies?
Get them ready. They got 10 minutes. On the way up there, I want you to stop by Ballistic and get some of that juice for them, okay? Because I got
get some of what juice? Not his juice. What juice is she? And can I go? Can I shop around? Can I watch? Can I make sure that she get the job done? Can I go and see if she need help doing it? Like, what we getting from Ballistic in a room where there are no others? What are we doing? What is she wearing? And why is she digging in her? Yes, ho, we see you. We see you looking right at the camera, digging in your. We see you. And then you wearing white at that. Ew, the evidence gonna be on her still. Okay. What the fuck is he doing? What is he doing? He just knew this was his moment. Like Lorianne Gibson was gonna watch this and be like, who is that? Booming and cacking all over that goddamn floor.
Drew, you know him best, so how do we get at him?
We could get him when he's doing confessions.
And they about to do all of this within 22 minutes. Okay. And it's the same episode that the director was hyping up saying, no, I don't want to do 10. I always do episode 1, episode 5, and episode 10, but I'm going to do episode 9 because episode 9 is bigger than 10. Don't say that. We got 22 motherfucking minutes left. What's big, sweetie?
Well,
I missed him so much. I can't wait. Oh my
Oh.
tell Quinn and T-Core we say
Oh.
hello.
Yes.
Girl, he probably in there. He probably okay. She probably like, yes, Quinn, give me that. She sound like the top to say quark. Yes, Quinn, give me that quark. That white quark. That Harry Potter boy quark.
The losing team has to go skinny dipping. I'm still a team player, and I just decided to go skinny dipping, and I went all out.
That's because you a nasty I know that's right. Come here for Robbie. Come here. Come lay with me.
That's all I want to know.
Yeah, that wasn't for you. That wasn't for you. We talked about it. We squashed it. We put that shit in.
This pointless conversation. Heifer, go sit the down. Go sit down. Now she trying to have conversations. She trying to have meetings. She trying to have interactions. She trying to pull up receipts from 2 days ago. Girl, go sit down. One person done told you that you too quiet, and now this whole episode you ain't stopped talking yet. Oh. No. Okay. Hold on. Hold on. There go my baby Punch. Oh. And there go my new boyfriend. There go my new husband right there. Y'all see him? Right there. Right there. Oh. What the What the Why? I just know she sank. Who that dude in the back though with the 2 pigtails? He cute. He cute.
I'm a hairstylist, makeup artist, I'm an artist, and I'm a porn star. Top 1.5. Okay. I'm showing these bitches how to be the baddest without having to show every thing. There's different versions of baddies.
Let me get this straight. The porn star. The porn. What the is that? What the is? What is that next to her? She looks like an owl. What is going on, y'all? It's Santana, better known as Aubrey, when I'm doing these more intimate, more personal type of videos, okay? Let me just start off by saying this. So typically when people work full-time, they have a job where you have like 5 days on, 2 days off. That's about what, 20 days a week? I'm sorry, 20 days a month that you work. So just imagine that out of a full-time job where you're supposed to have 20 days of working during the month, that some months you only able to do like 12 days or some months maybe 8. And so you wind up getting to a point where you're playing catch up and then you're having to work more days, but you also need a second job. But before you can get a second job, you got to get that first job under order. It's kind of the same thing when it comes to this channel. I love doing videos like this where it's a little bit more personal, intimate, spiritual. Because y'all know that I'm psychic, a light worker, healer, intuitive, so life therapist, whatever you want to call me, spiritual therapist. But it's harder for me to do more intimate videos like this when, you know, I've been backed up for so long with my channel. So the more that my channel is able to stabilize and get to a comfortable, stable place for me, then I can start introducing other content like this. But it's not remiss on me. It's not gone from me. Okay. Like stuff like this will come, but just, you know, allow me to do what I got to do with the channel. Okay. So that's why I wanted to switch up the background to let it be known this is more less Chi, more Aubrey, okay, more spiritual, because we about to get into some other things. And the more that I talk and openly, I guess, share my gifts over here on this channel, the more comfortable that I start to feel, because I realize like, okay, I don't necessarily have to run a spiritual channel in order for people to understand where I'm coming from and get it. You know, because that was one of my concerns having a entertainment commentary channel. It's like, yeah, we could be ratchet, we could turn up, but like, will people understand what I mean when I say I'm channeling or I'm getting certain downloads and I'm feeling this? Like, will people get it? And so far, y'all do. So I'm just not even going to talk. We just going to dive into this video that Sloan has done. She often does videos. She often goes live where people ask questions and things like that. And then she also does specific channeling videos. I'm waiting on how to do Kanika Jenkins. Okay. Because for me, I know a lot of people don't like to necessarily go and listen to other people, or like even with YouTubers, like away from being like psychic, just being a YouTuber period. I know a lot of people don't like to listen to other people's opinions and da-da-da-da. I love it. I love being confirmed that I'm gifted and talented as fuck. Like I love that shit. So when I hear other people speak on their channelings and what they think are gonna happen and what their predictions are, it just reaffirms me that like I'm not crazy and that okay, you know what I'm saying? Like, so I'm excited to get into this and hear what she has to say, because I've openly already told y'all that Justin would be going through a lot right now. I specifically told y'all September 17th, Justin and Diddy, their name would come up. It would be all hell breaking loose. And that's exactly what's happened. Kim Porter has a book. Now, whether or not the copy that's floating around is real or not, a lot of people are saying it's fake. That ain't my job to say, oh, well, Justin Bieber's name was brought up in a book, in a fake book. I just know Justin Bieber's name was going to be brought up and attached to this whole Diddy mess around that time. So whether or not the book is real, I that's not the download I got. That's not the point of the download I got. The point was is that Justin Bieber's name would be brought up. So that's exactly what happened. As far as if that book is real or not, I don't know. The street saying it's not. But regardless, I felt like Justin is going to go through a lot of public scrutiny. I feel like half of the people are going to want to crucify him and the other half are just going to feel bad for him, because they're going to realize that much like we could even say the same with Usher and Diddy, but much like them, it's like hurt people, and it's like you're a victim of circumstance, a victim of your trauma. And I've told y'all that Justin has been trying to escape it, dealing with alcoholism issues, dealing with possible drug issues as well. I feel like Haley Bieber is his handler. I feel like the child that they had is going to crack open something within Justin, because he's going to get to that place where it's like, I wanted to, like, no one protected me. And so looking at my child, I thought that me marrying Haley and us starting this new life and us having a kid, I thought it was going to breathe new life into me, and we were going to, you know, be able to go off into the sunset, and I was going to be able to escape all of this. But that's the thing, you cannot escape your trauma. Like, the universe will bring it back up. And that's why I love astrology so much, because even though astrology isn't like a end all be all, it's most definitely a cheat code when you know what to look for. Like, you can tell, okay, around this time period, these transits are going to happen. I'm going to be going through X, Y, and Z. And so it's the same thing with Justin. He thought that he was going to be able to escape his trauma. Of course, in this world, you cannot do that. The universe will not allow you to do it. Shit will hit the fan at some point. And I do feel like it's a matter of time. I feel like Justin is clicking down. And I feel like, ooh, because now I'm starting to feel like it might be a tragic end. I don't know if I'm feeling suicide or if that's just the dark, because there's dark clouded energy around him, period. His soul, his aura, his everything. He lives a very sad, depressing life. He tries to smile through it, tries to work through it, but it's all a cloud. It's all a facade. That's what I'm feeling. And I do feel like before because I'm not wishing death on him. That's not what I'm doing. But what I will say is that if any super, super dark event were to happen, like a suicide or a death, the information would come out. And much like Diddy, he holds the power to a lot of, he's like the nucleus. Him and Diddy are like the nucleuses of what's going on in Hollywood. Like, they hold a lot of power and a lot of information in regards to more powerful people, elites, celebrities, our faves. Like, they hold a lot of cards. But that's just a little brief synopsis for anybody that's new. That's just a little brief, I guess, summary of how I feel in regards to Justin and the whole situation. I definitely believe he's connected to Diddy, and that Diddy did RAP Justin, okay, as well as multiple people, not just Diddy, because I know everybody's focused on Diddy right now, but it's way bigger than that. But I'm gonna let Sloan talk, and I'll be jumping back in and forth, back and forth, giving commentary.
So I talked to a psychic, and I want to tell you guys about it.
We are transferring you to your psychic.
Much requested video. Now, I had somebody else in mind for today who really wants to come through, which I will bring through later in the week. And the person that I'm talking about today is very prevalent in the news right now due to the circumstances around somebody, two people actually, possibly more, that he mentored under as a young man as he was coming up in the music industry. And there's great concern for his health and mental well-being at the moment after just having a baby, given the circumstances of the people that fostered him into the industry.
What the fuck did I Y'all, I have not watched this video. I have not watched this video at all. At all. I have not watched this video at all. Like I said, I literally just so you know I'm not lying, just in case you knew, baby, this is the original post that I told you I was looking at. Okay, I was scrolling on Jasmine Brand. First of all, I was scrolling on Jasmine Brand, annoyed that they put the titles at the bottom. I was so annoyed by that. But then I clicked on this and I was like, damn, it's been 6 years. And then I'm going through the comments like, is this something to talk about? Is this something to talk about? And where is it at? Because I was like, why is she leaving? I'm like, Max left, but why is she leaving? Where's the actual comment? Oh, where's the comment? Is it not up here? Oh, right here. It says, but Neve unfollowed her 2 weeks ago. And I was like, what? Oh, not drama. And then when I clicked on this, it says, well, watch YouTube, the Sloan video that was posted 2 weeks ago. Okay. And then, yeah, they started talking about that. So yeah. But
Much
already
requested video. Now I had somebody
already Sloan is confirming exactly what I said, and I said this in a video that I posted on YouTube a few weeks back.
else in mind for today who really wants to come through, which I will bring through later in the week. And the person that I'm talking about today is very prevalent in the news right now due to the circumstances around somebody, two people actually, possibly more, that he mentored under as a young man as he was coming up in the music industry. And there's great concern for his health and mental well-being at the moment after just having a baby, given the circumstances of the people that fostered him into the industry and what's going on with them. I'm talking about Justin Bieber. And I felt like,
and also too, let me say this. I forgot. I don't know Justin's chart by heart, and I'm sure that Sloan is going to bring it up. But I remember in the last video that I did, something going on with his 12th house. I believe Justin has the moon in his 12th house, or the moon is currently transiting his 12th house. But something dealing with that, I think that's where the eclipse is, which is, it was just astrological confirmation for me as to what I was feeling.
if I didn't do his video right now, I wouldn't get a chance to do it. So there was an imperativeness to me wanting to do this video. I shoved off a bunch of meetings. I pushed everything aside. I'm like, I have to film this. And I started saying it last week. So I'm finally sitting down to do it today. Now, Justin Bieber was born on March 1st of 1994.
Yeah, I'm trying to make it go by fast, but it's too much important stuff. So I'm gonna just have to we just gonna have to sit here.
Bieber. And I felt like if I didn't do his video right now, I wouldn't get a chance to do it. So there was an imperativeness to me wanting to do this video.
And what's crazy is I felt the same way. I felt the exact same way. Because that video that I did, you can take a look on the channel. The video that I did was very, very random. Let me see. Where is it? Where is it? This video right here. It was 2 weeks ago. Diddy, Justin Bieber, and Jay-Z predictions. It's not about if, it's about when. And I felt called to do that like immediately. Like, because that video I did maybe at like 1 a.m., 2 a.m. It was like late at night. And I did not mean to make that video an hour, but it ended up just being a fucking hour. And it's crazy. It's just we're all connected. If you've never seen the show Manifest, please go watch it, because it's such a good example of like life and how humans are. Like, we are all connected. Like, we are all God. We are all energy, all things energy. We're all connected to source. Like, so it's just it's crazy. It's crazy. You know how people can have the same or similar downloads, but also that same sense of urgency.
That's literally.
So something could possibly happen very soon, y'all.
Video now.
And also too, because I'm gonna be doing a lot of explaining. If you just here for tea, maybe that's not the video for you, because you could go watch this video of hers on your own. But the way that it works, right, with gifts is like, you don't necessarily always know why you're receiving certain information, right? Sometimes it's just like, oh, I have to put this out. You don't know why. It might be I have to put this out because people need to be informed, people need to be warned. Or sometimes it could be the universe's way of blessing you, because it's like, no, bitch, you need to put this out, because when you put this out, it's going to hit at the right time with the algorithm. And then, YouTube is going to blow your video and your channel up. And then that's how you're going to become a star and go to the next up. Like, should be crazy like that. And even if that's a little too deep or too advanced for you to think about, you could think about it like as a gut instinct. Same shit, gut instinct, intuitive, all of that.
Now, I had somebody son, and that's an area. So those kinds of areas in Canada have nothing in sitting down to do it today. Now, Justin Bieber was born on March 1st of 1994 in London, Ontario, Canada, at 12:56 a.m. Now, I'm very familiar with where he was born. I went to private school in St. Thomas, Ontario, which is just outside of London, Ontario. And it is it's a city, but it's a rural area. So those kinds of areas in Canada have nothing in comparison to American cities like New York and Los Angeles, which are just full of people. So Justin was born then. So I put his chart together, and I want to discuss it really briefly. I found it fascinating because he's a Pisces sun, and that's difficult in and of itself because a Pisces sun, any Pisces sun, any person born on
very delusional, very psychic, but very delusional because y'all are ruled by Neptune.
Under the sun sign of Pisces is completing lifetime after lifetime and family patterning cycles in this life. That's
yes, because Pisces is the 12th house, and 12th house is ruled by Pisces and Neptune. And if you think of like the zodiac, right? It starts off with Aries. Aries is 1, and then goes from Aries, Taurus, Gemini, all the way on. And Pisces is the last sign. So even if you think of like the calendar, the new year doesn't start January 1st. That's some bullshit that we made up. The new year is always when spring starts. Soon as Aries season comes in, that's when the new year is. Okay.
why they are a Pisces. And they have so many different reflective personalities because they go through each and every sign, the 11 prior to them at any given moment to work the energy out so that they can come through and move in a different direction the next time they come back to this dimension, in theory. So astrology, of course, is premised on the belief that we reincarnate in and out of different lifetimes. So for a Pisces, it's very intense because it is accumulation of many lifetimes in one lifetime. Now, the first thing I see with Justin is that he has a stellium, 3 or more planets in the same sign. Saturn is in Pisces. That's a very difficult Saturn position. Saturn is in Pisces and it is conjuncting the sun. Now, the sun is conjuncting Venus. Saturn conjunct the sun is problematic in and of itself just by its very nature because it brings the past karma of the father's ancestors, so the male side of the family, into the child's direct responses in this lifetime, and it is conjuncting the sun. Now, the sun is conjuncting Venus. Saturn conjunct the sun is problematic in and of itself just by its very nature.
Very, very problematic. I would honestly say any aspects, because I have Saturn square the sun. Conjunct means, you know, together with sorry, it's a fucking fly in here. But Saturn conjunct means like with, like conjoining together. Square means battling against. I have Saturn square my sun, and I have Saturn in my first house versus sun in my fourth house. And so yeah, that basically represents why I'm the black sheep of my family, why me and my mother don't get along. Yeah. Yeah. And Saturn is ruled by Capricorn, which is father, time, boundaries, things like that.
Because it brings the past karma of the father's ancestors, so the male side of the family, into the child's direct responses in this lifetime. Does not matter if the child is male or female, that is just what happens. And Saturn in Pisces is one of two things. It is incredibly perfectionistic or incredibly broken. So there's nothing in between with Saturn in Pisces. You will have people that are the top of their field and the best in their field. And then you will have people that are basically homeless and like sleeping on the ground. It is nothing in between of any generation born with Saturn in Pisces. They have to come.
And keep in mind, right now, Saturn is transiting through Pisces. So everything that y'all have been seeing between people throwing shit at concerts, people throwing shit at celebrities, people, everything that's been happening on cruise ships and in the water, people drowning, sharks, the wildlife acting up in the water, that's all Saturn in Pisces.
The whole karma of Saturn in Pisces, well, not the whole karma, but a lot of the karma of Saturn in Pisces is to assimilate the dark with the light, the good with the bad, and to run on practical application of how they respond in this world. And it can be very difficult for them because they can get sidetracked. Saturn conjuncting the sun immediately tempers the energy of the person with inherited depression. Okay, so there is an inheriting of energy, karma, and also depression, just depression. Like, how do we feel about things? Why do we feel the way we do? And do we feel good about it? Saturn on the sun squashes that joyfulness of the sun. And with a sun in Pisces, it's already, the person is already aware of what is underneath the sun and what hides in the dark, because they walk the veil in between both, all Pisces people. The other thing that I found fascinating is he has Mars conjuncting Saturn, again, the karma of the father, the sins of the father. Saturn, 7 generations back, literally, figuratively and literally in his case. We have Mars conjuncting Mercury. Both are in Aquarius. So the Mars is conjunct the Saturn. It's 8 degrees and it's in a different sign, and it's sliding along in the same house. So it's interesting because it's never far from his thinking. Now, Mercury in Aquarius should be very out of this world, you know, just energy, electrical. Justin was born with Mercury retrograde. Now, people who don't know astrology, you'll hear them online going, watch your electronics, Mercury retrograde, confusion. That's not what Mercury retrograde is. It can.
Retrograde is very introspective. I actually have like 4 or 5 planets that's retrograde, which is why I'm also so deep. But like it can also suck because everything is already like ass backwards for me because I have Saturn in my first house. So it's like everything is already like late bloomer type, but definitely having planets in retrograde is more introspective. It's a time to go in, time to rethink things. Can also make you a bit rebellious or a bit slow to learn or a bit slow to receive blessings or pick up lessons in that area.
Can be given the sign that it's in. Okay, given the sign that it's in, it can be a whole bunch of things pertaining to this particular sign the person is born with, or what it's transiting in this particular instance, any given time during the year. However, in Justin's case, Mercury is in Aquarius. It's conjuncting Mars. Okay, so the father again, and the way that Justin expresses himself and his masculinity, but it is retrograde. So what is Mercury?
And let me say this, if you're new to watching these type of videos or Sloan, the whole video isn't necessarily about astrology. Like she's going to get to the channeling portion at some point. It's just the introduction to it's just extra confirmations. That's it. Just like, okay, hey, for those that care about the astrology portion, here's the astrology proof that he's like this. Okay, because our natal charts are literally like the windows to our soul. They explain our whole entire life from the moment that we're born to the moment that we die. There's so much information there. That's why I'm always offering my personal readings, because it's not just about, oh, it's my boyfriend coming back, it's my twin flame coming back. You know, you can literally find out whatever.
Mercury retrograde, and keep in mind it's in Aquarius. Aquarius connects to the energy of helping people pursue and follow their dreams and goals. So Justin has Mercury in that area. So he has followed his own dreams and goals, but whose dreams and goals are those really? Conjuncting Mars, the father ancestors. Ancestrally down the line, this is what we had planned for you. And it can also be off the grid, meaning on the other side, it's what's planned for him. What he does with it, with his free will, even though he's confined with that Saturn and bound with that Saturn, is still up to him within the context, even if he does something bad. And before I go on about Mercury retrograde, I want to say, you don't have to continue following on the negative side of life just because you've been on the negative side of life. You are allowed to change, ask for forgiveness, and behave differently. And I hope Justin hears that message, because that's exactly where he needs to focus his energy.
I just want to have fun, clap my hands.
And she's so true about that. I tell y'all all the time, this is why I don't have sympathy for people that wake up and choose to be victims of their situations and circumstances. If y'all knew all of the bullshit that has happened to me in my life, hell, just the last 2 years. I'm sorry, not last 2 years, but the last 2 months. You know what I mean? And I have this Patreon now, so here and there, if something happens and it's just like OD overwhelming, I might mention it in the video. Like I've had videos where I'm literally breaking down in the middle of recording. I might post something, you know. Like the eclipse the other day was so terrifying for me. It was too much. On the second. And I had posted something on Patreon or whatever. But my point in saying all of that is like, you choose how you want your life to be. Like, either life is happening to you or it's happening for you. And for me, I have to look at life as happening for me and come from the perspective of, okay, well, what is life trying to teach me right now? How can I use this to my advantage? How can I use this to move forward? Because I'll be damned if I sit around suicidal all goddamn day, ready to off myself. Like, we're not doing that. We're not doing that. We're not doing that. And it's not that I'm not empathetic towards people who are suicidal. It's just, baby, I felt that since birth. I've had every situation you can name thrown at me and been through hell and back since birth continuously. So I most definitely get how one can get to a low point, but you have to actively choose to come up out of that. So when I get online and I'm making these videos and I'm making people laugh and I'm making saying da da da, please don't think I'm not going through hell. I'm absolutely going through hell and fighting, through life like everybody else. But I'm choosing to put a smile on my face and I'm choosing to do what I got to do because, again, it's a choice. It's a choice. You don't have to stay stuck there.
He can move forward. Now, Mercury retrograde is fascinating. Anything retrograde brings 20/20 hindsight to it, okay? But Mercury retrograde is a spiritual point in the chart where the thinking comes to a position where they're going to think materialistically or they're going to think spiritually. And then you kind of layer it with the sign of Aquarius, okay? So this is inspired thinking, lyrical thinking, and it's being squared right now by Taurus, okay? By your transiting Uranus in Taurus, squaring it. So this is a lot of unexpected thinking and circumstances, Taurus throat chakra, in what we didn't speak up about pertaining to Justin Bieber. Now, what I love when I look at his chart is I love that he has Capricorn on the second house. I love that he has Neptune and Uranus conjunct in the second house. There's probably a love for the esoteric or metaphysic or occult and the love of music at the same time. Television, music, performance. Perfect. Perfection. Now, if you look at his ascendant, I was blown away by this. Just absolutely, because he doesn't strike me like that. But now that I see the ascendant, I'm like, I can see the Pisces will hide, the water signs will hide. So he's a double water sign. He's a Scorpio rising, okay? 29 degrees Scorpio rising. Holy shit, with Sagittarius in the first house. So there is that combination of I work underneath the logical and the physical reality of this world, and I work with the manipulation of energy. Why? Because all you Scorpio risings, I don't care who you are out there, are mother dominated. I use that word. Doesn't mean your mother's bad or anything like that. It means the focus in the family and the way that you were raised was energetically connected to the mother's thinking. Can be divorce, can be that the father worked too much, but Scorpio rising is a person who learned how to walk the veil between the dimension of earth, logical, practical, everything you touch, tangible, and the undercurrent of energy on this planet, which is the astral, the spiritual, the metaphysical. They learn that from their mother, and it can be in very normal circumstances. It doesn't have to be because you're famous or you're this or you're a practitioner. It's literally they watched the mother and they learned how she manipulated underneath the current to get her needs met, whatever they were. It could be as simple as, getting your day-to-day needs met. It doesn't have to be anything hugely big. So the Scorpio rising person learns very early on what manipulation is. Now take the word manipulation and look at it. We have the earth and what is good, and then we have the dark side and what is bad, what is hidden from the light. The Scorpio rising wanders between the two, learning the good and the bad. So they will often experience all the way up from, dive bars, homelessness, anything horrific you can think of. The Scorpio rising will have friends or put themselves in that experience in order to understand how to walk the energy between what they've been taught and raised in and then what they've experienced. So it's quite an interesting energy. Now his is at 29. That's a whole hell of a lot of Scorpio rising energy.
Yeah, 29 degrees, baby. Because I have my sun at 29 degrees and my Saturn at 29 degrees. 29 degrees. It's a beautiful placement in terms of like fame. Because it's 29 degrees is a Leo. It's called a analytical or critical degree. And it's at a Leo degree. So it can bring a lot of fame. Okay. Having signs or planets at 5 degrees, 17 degrees, or 29, but specifically at 29 degrees, it's at the last degree that it can possibly be. So it's almost like the closing of a chapter, the closing of like you done been through hell and back, Titanic climax. Like that is your life in that one area, if that makes sense. It's like everything is like times 1,000.
That is not something I wish, and it's something that's happening right now to him. What I find interesting, even more so, is that we have his ruling planet on his ascendant. Now, they're all coming in right now for him, and I'm going to tell you this. I've been feeling this for a couple of days. I'm going to totally sideswipe the reading before I finish his ascendant, but because I have to, I'm freezing. Okay, so there is many a person who has passed away on the other side, and they are just, it's amazing. They are just waking up themselves, as in the public is just waking up. Obviously, some people knew ahead of time. Some people have always known. This is a given with people in the general population. But those on the other side that were shut down, who comes to mind is Amy Winehouse right now. Those who were shut down energetically and taken off the planet too early and basically forced into another dimension are literally very focused on what's happening right now, because it is the recognition of what happened to them on a soul level. Now,
this is why I keep mentioning to y'all Whitney Houston, Michael Jackson, Prince. I guess you can throw Amy Winehouse in there, Left Eye, Aaliyah. Like that, and that's why it's so mind-boggling to me that people keep trying to protect Jay-Z, or people keep trying to act like Diddy didn't do certain shit. Like all of these deaths, these are deaths that were not supposed to die. Not like that. Not like that. And I've mentioned that several fucking times. Is that a fucking pigeon above my... Girl, it's a damn pigeon above my window. They all... Sorry, because I'm laying down doing this video and my head is right by the window. And I'm like, not a bird trying to take a shit on the window. But they all died way too soon. You know, and I've been very, very vocal about that. And I wonder if once the Clive Davis stuff starts coming out, exactly how he's going to be brought to the forefront, if it's going to be through Diddy or if it's going to be through Justin, or hell, if it's even going to be brought through Whitney. I wonder, like, how is this all going to play out and come out?
Now with Justin immediately, because this room is full of people here, and I don't even know.
And if you don't get it by now, like what I was trying to say in the intro, Justin Bieber could easily end up as one of those people that I mentioned. Same type of tragic before you're supposed to die deaths. That's why, you know, choosing different is so important, and getting right with God, getting right with, you know, spirituality and the universe is because sometimes when you're not here doing what you're supposed to be doing, or you get so caught up in going against what your calling is, what you're here to do, the universe can wipe you out, or other forces can come up and wipe you out. Read between the lines, right? But if you're getting right with the universe, getting right with God, getting right with spirit, there's that level of protection that's there. There's still protection because, you know, at the end of the day, we're also God's children, but there's that, we're just going to say extra level of protection.
Who they all are. I'm assuming some are his relatives. People are siding for him and wanting him to be successful. I got a very strong, clear image as I'm talking to you of choking on, I throw up. I'm choking on like overdose, choking on my vomit. Okay. Aspirating. That's the word I'm looking for. I feel like we're going to go into the drug addiction thing with him strong right now. And so I feel like he needs prayer, and I'm being dead serious. I feel like he needs prayer to raise his energy up, because there is a battle for him. It's very interesting. I don't know what he holds the key to, and I'm being serious when I say it. There's many people that have been abused by the same mentors that he was abused by.
You could spend your time looking for the perfect...
He holds the key to taking down the industry.
The key to something, and they don't.
And also too, because I was going to keep it vague, but let's actually go there. So yes, we are all God's children and things like that, but there's things that happen in life where your energy field can be tampered with, right? That's why even people like myself, or a lot of people that are gifted on YouTube that might do tarot or might, you know, give prophetic what do you call it, prophetic messages or whatever. Like, you have to be armored, you have to be, you know, right with spirit, you got to make sure that you're protected, you got to be cleansed, like all of that. Because especially given, like, if you're the type that's prone to depression and prone to drinking and doing drugs and doing things that's going to take you out of your energy, take you out of your vibration and lower it. Like, they call it spirits for a reason. They call it spirits for a reason. It's easier for a psychic attack, a spiritual attack that can happen on you. It's way easier. Right? So this is why Sloan is explaining, like, pray for him. Because even if you feel like prayer does nothing, it's the energy that's reverberating back out into the world, right? That's why I tell y'all, be careful who you allow to pray for you, because you never know what spells they might be casting, like, because words are spells, and that, not to get too deep, but hopefully y'all are following me, right? So if you're already in a space where your energy is so low, you're vibrating so low, then now you're inviting in, or now you're starting to do drugs and alcohol, and that's taking you even further. It's inviting in all of these dark, negative entities. It's not a good thing. It's not a good thing.
Don't want it spoken about, and he's tried to speak about it before and he was shut down when he went with that, I think it's Hillsong or Hillside Church, whatever the name of that place is. Anyway, getting back to his ascendant. Ascendant is 29 degrees. The ruling planet is in the 12th. Last lifetime, jailed for the same thing. And what I mean by jailed is on a soul level, karmically bound and brought back into this life. So this is the second lifetime that Justin has spent where he has been some sort of celebrity musically, and he has had to deal with the manipulation of this energy. And his life path at this point, he's a 9, is to end this cycle. Okay. He's also a dog in Chinese, and apparently a pine tree in Celtic. I didn't know that, but that's just something I read. I don't usually do that. Anyway, I like the pine tree because Jesus was cleansed by the pine oil. So I like that. I like that for him. I like the pine tree. So he's a dog in Chinese, but he's a 9. Okay. He's a 9, a level 9. That's extreme. That is not an easy life. That is ending every which way you go along. His moon is in the sign of Libra in the 11th house of Aquarius, which is pretty detached, very artistic, and also carries a lot. It's anger laden. It carries a lot of anger with it. So people with a Libra moon can have a lot of issues with anger and not know how to express themselves. They really maybe don't know how to do it. Now, when I look at Justin's chart, I see the nodal axis, okay? North node is in Scorpio. South node is in Taurus. This is crazy, crazy, okay? So his energy is very much between the material and the spiritual. He has to learn how to move through that, okay? He has to learn how to do it. He has Saturn squaring his ascendant, so that karma squares him. Moon squaring Uranus. Very unhinged emotional nature from the women in his life. Any women. He has a daughter, gonna be her. Mother, her. Grandmother, her. Wife, her. Doesn't matter. Female coworkers, them. Very kind of unhinged. Pluto is conjunct the ascendant and conjunct the north node. So conjuncting Pluto on the ascendant says, you must change or we will kill you with some disastrous thing.
That was what I was alluding to all video, but she said it.
So I look at Pluto on the ascendant. When it's coming from the 12th, that's even scarier for me. I have it in the 1st. I prefer it in the 1st. I do not want it coming hidden from the 12th. You don't know the unsteady ground you're walking on until you walk on it and you got a sinkhole and you start flying down the sinkhole, and you must change or we will kill you with some disastrous thing. So I look at Pluto on the ascendant. When it's coming from the 12th, that's even scarier for me. I have it in the 1st. I prefer it in the 1st. I do not want it coming hidden from the 12th. You don't.
And see, that's what scares me. That's what scares me because I have my relocated natal chart pulled up, and in my relocated natal chart, I got Pluto in my 12th. That's a whole other conversation for another day, but it most definitely ties back to everything dealing with this.
Know the unsteady ground you're walking on until you walk on it and you got a sinkhole and you start flying down the sinkhole, and then you have to think on your feet, which is exactly where I think that he is. He also has Mars square Pluto. That is a lot of violence directed at somebody. He has a T square, and he also has a stellium, as we talked about. You can add the 2 Aquarius planets to the stellium. Some do, some don't. Meaning they're out of sign, but within 10 degrees, but not a 3-degree orb. The T square is Saturn. It's the ascendant Chiron and Pluto. This means in order to heal the child in him, because of Chiron, the wounded healer, in order to heal that, he has to let go of who he was. Pluto, rebirth. Remember, Pluto and Scorpio are the only ones that can reinvent themselves in so many different directions that we don't even have a clue. So
I have Pluto in my 10th house. I tell y'all that all the time. I got Pluto and Scorpio in my 10th house. I say that to y'all all the time. My old intro, I used to tell y'all I went from graphic designs to story times to da-da-da-da-da. So that's an example.
what I feel is going on with Justin at the moment. Now let's go back to that Mercury retrograde that he was born with. Let's go back to that. The Mercury retrograde in your natal chart 100% and absolutely brings you to a position of spiritual attunement. Now, because it's in Aquarius and Pluto is going to run up, not in his lifetime, because it's like, well, it will be if he doesn't leave soon. But anyway, in his lifetime, okay, late 20, 30 years from now, actually 2047, I think, Pluto stays in Aquarius. So it's going to stay in his Mars and his Mercury sign. So we have Pluto jumping back after the election out of Capricorn into Aquarius. The focus on his life-changing events is going to be strong and dominant in the way that he communicates. He has a chance as a victim slash
not abuser, but
person who participates,
right,
to rectify all of that by moving
and not deliverance. There's a word that I hear a lot of people use. It's not deliverance. You have to pray for salvation. I don't know. There's a certain word that I hear people say. I'm just trying to give y'all another example of what she's saying. Repent.
His energy to truth. Pluto does not destroy when you speak truth. When you speak truth, Pluto rises and brings to a level of acceptance where you can move down a different path. So it is in the truth. Now let's go back to that. Okay, let's just.
And I'm gonna keep stopping. Like I said, y'all know how this goes. Like if you want to go, you can go watch the video on your own. But I'm giving y'all real life examples. So Pluto is chaotic because it constantly destroys. But it's not just destroying for no reason. It's destroying to bring you to your highest version of you, right? So like how I used to say, I went from doing graphic designs to storytelling to this, to that. Well, right now, this is about the longest time that I've had like this type of channel. And it's because right now I'm living in the highest form of myself that I can be living in. And that matters. Why? Because I said I have Pluto in my 10th house. So it constantly breaking down and having me rebrand with my career. But right now, essentially, Pluto is allowing me to, do my thing because I'm living in my highest truth right now. This is exactly where I'm supposed to be. Now that can change, depending on transits and all of that. That could change in a year or so. But like right now, we're good.
Literally go back to that. When he has his next birthday, Oh man, the repercussions of his actions are going to come out sixfold. Now, my concern for him.
Don't just take classes, take charge. Start your comeback today at purdueglobal.edu.
If you sleep on a satin pillowcase, you deserve to know about this. I discovered that my satin pillowcase of all things was drying out my skin, causing breakouts, frizzing up my hair, and worst of all,
My concern for him, here is my concern for him. My concern for him is that he doesn't know who his friends are. He doesn't know who his family is. He obviously does, but he doesn't know who are open-ended enemies. I'm really worried about that
He's married to one.
for him because the open-ended enemies are coming for him. And because he knows and he sees and he tried to say. Now, here's what I'm going to say. Regardless of who does what on this planet, to what degree of evil or what degree of fun, anybody can be forgiven when they speak the truth. Now, let's go back to the initial truth. Justin was a victim as a child, and here's why he was a victim, in my opinion, from the energy I'm feeling. And again, I get a bunch of people connected to this. I know we say Usher, I know we say P. Diddy, and any other manager or agent that
Bronson.
he's had in his life. However, I go back to the higher ups in the industry. Obviously, we know the Clive Davis, we know all of the music company management companies. But I go to Elton John, I go to Usher, I go to L.A. Reid,
And I was about to fucking say Ellie Reed. I was literally about to say that. I was literally about to press pause and say that because I was just like, everybody keeps mentioning Clive, but Ellie Reed.
to P. Diddy. And these are the beginning. These people are targeted. They are targeted because, okay, so how do I want to word it?
Put it this way. Energy knows energy. You know who to try that shit with. Okay, you know who to try that shit with. It's the same thing like when we watch Baddies, right? Or watch Young and Reckless. You know damn well Canadian Barbie ain't standing on shit. You know damn well that Scotty going to be a little pushover and speak up maybe to save her check. Like, you know who to try stuff with. So it's kind of the same thing. Like, people can peep a star. People can peep somebody that's talented. People can peep somebody that is able to be manipulated. And that's what happens. Like, a lot of this stuff when it comes to like people becoming stars, it's not as serendipitous as people would want to make it seem. Because think about how we've always been programmed and conditioned to believe, oh, in order to become a star, you have a 1 in a million chance. And it's not necessarily always like that. Does it happen like that for a lot of people? Yes, of course. But it's not always like that. It's about the manipulation of it. Right? Especially when you consider all of the darker stuff that goes on. It's just like, okay, sure, you're cute. Like, and that too is also why that also too supports the argument where people will be like, well, why did this person win the show? Or why did this person get a record deal versus this person when they sing way better? And well, why? Are they able to be manipulated as easily? And it doesn't always have to be so sinister, like, you know, rape and sodomy and all like shit like that, or like energy harnessing. It could really just be like, okay, is this person, you know, can I manipulate them out of money? Can I manipulate checks out of them? Can I or is this person going to be too mouthy? That's why no matter whether or not you like Nicki Minaj, that's why the industry hates Nicki, is because she cannot be manipulated. She's like the only female rapper who like owns her shit, and that money comes back to her versus going back to labels and like. That's why I ride for Nicki, because whether you like her or not, it's the politics of why they don't like Nicki, because she cannot be manipulated like these other girls.
For this, it's a form of vampiring. I don't even know how to say this without sounding nuts.
Energy
harnessing. It's a form of vampiring, but not the way that vampires have been presented in.
It's not about like sucking your blood. It's energy. I'm harvesting on your energy, right? I'm harvesting on your energy. That's just what it is. And so that's why the prayers and the vibration are needed for Justin. Like, that's why he needs to raise his vibration and get himself to a better place, because baby, if we harvesting on your energy when you are the lightest of your light and you're a star shining. If we harvesting your energy now when you ain't got nothing left, then bitch, you about to die. It's literally as simple as like somebody coming into your house and eating up all your food. Now when you ain't got shit left, what you gonna have for you? You about to die of starvation. You understand what I'm saying?
In the public, like
hold on. Y'all know I fucking live in New York and they got the bikes out.
Dracula and all those people. It's not that. It's energetic vampiring, and it's not like an energy vampire either. These kids
No. It is like an energy vampire. It is.
Are put into positions when they are vulnerable and young, and they want to create what.
Oh, wait. Maybe she might mean like an empath. She might mean like an empath, right? Like an energy vampire, meaning like come into the room and like you suck up all the air. No. It's more of like a soul thing where it's like literally stealing the essence of you, literally taking like, I don't know how else to explain it other than like your soul, like
God has given them a singing voice, an ability to create something, a presence, a charisma, a way of speaking, a way of helping. They want that energy because they can't do it. So they attach spores through the abuse. That's how I'm going to word it. I call it spores. Think of a dandelion and all the spores going. Think of abuse and think of the spores going into the body and hooking into the different energy centers known as chakras or just energy frequencies or meridians in the body. That is how I'm going to word it. Once they get into you, they can harness that energy. These people are playing on the astral level. My major concern between November and March for.
And let me break that down. So we all know what typical rape looks like, or, you know, so with the typical like rape situation, person gets raped, then obviously they deal with that PTSD. It's that, but on a way more complicated spiritual level. So the same effects that you could assume that a person might have after getting R word, because let me not keep repeating that, but after getting, you know, assaulted like that, that same type of psychological PTSD, think of that on a spiritual level and on a soul level. Okay, where now somebody is able to control that. Almost like mind control, not necessarily that though, but like, because it's a very complicated thing, but just trying to give an example.
For Justin is that more and more will come out, and the direction or reflection that reflects back from the mirror to him is so problematic that there could be an increase, and I'm going to say it, drug abuse and overdosing type of circumstances. It will be by accident, and it will be like Aaron Carter, Whitney Houston. Oh, look, they overdosed. But did they overdose, or did somebody spike what it is they're taking, causing an overdose? Just because you smoke a joint, take a pill, does not mean you're expecting to die from that particular thing. So is it laced with something, as is the case of Prince? Is it laced with something? Or is it the case of Michael Jackson, where it's laced with something deliberately?
Look at, she literally mentioning everybody I done told y'all.
And suddenly you're not watching and the person passes away. Is that what's going on? Now we're going blurry. Now we're back. Justin is being rooted for and applauded on the other side because he has the chance to make it right for himself. And I feel he is both participant but victim from the beginning. And that can happen. That can happen. Sometimes you just can't fight it. Sometimes you are bullied and harassed and forced into situations by people that are called mentors.
And that's the problem with the Diddy stuff, which is why, like, I don't even care to talk about it, because people are making all of these baby oil jokes and oh, Meek Mill and da-da-da-da, and it's bigger than that. That's what I've been saying since the beginning. It's bigger than that. Like, yes, there are a lot of people that y'all know I do not like people that stand by and just, I don't like that. And I still feel like, you know, regardless, find a way to speak up. Find a motherfucking way. Okay? But that still doesn't take away from the fact that there are people who got taken advantage of, right? Think of it like this. You go out with a friend to a club, you end up getting drugged. You do not remember anything that happens the next day. The next day, you wake up and you're trying to leave. You know you don't feel right. And you hear that all of this stuff that you don't remember happened the night before where you had no control of your body. And then on top of that, somebody taped you doing all of that. And now they're using those tapes to blackmail and harass you. And so you wake up the next day like, I don't remember anything that happened last night. I don't feel good. I just know I don't never want to do that again. Like I thought we was going to have a good time partying. I don't feel great. I don't want to party with you again. Next time they call you to come party, you like, nah, I don't want to go. I'm good on that. I'm good on that. That's not my thing. I thought I would like, that's not my whatever. Because I don't remember what happened. I don't like that feeling. And then that person tells you, well, I think you'll like the feeling again. I think you'll want to be back when you realize that I have all of these tapes. Yeah. Yeah. So fuck all of that you talking. You better show up to this party or else I'm going to drop this tape. I'm going to do this. A lot of that is what was going on in the industry. Blackmail, drugging motherfuckers, taking advantage of them, having them do things that they would never ever do in a sober waking life, recording them, using those recordings as blackmail, and then that's how the victim becomes a participant. That's a lot of wear and tear on a person's psyche, emotions, heart, soul, body, not even to mention all of the spiritual stuff that's going on. And like Sloan keeps repeating, like there is chance at redemption, chance at repenting, chance at like, because right now, just the energy that we're in overall, a lot is being overthrown. Hollywood is being overthrown. The government is being overthrown. I've been saying since 2019 that 2024 would be the year where patriarchy would start to die. I've been saying that. Been saying it. Got so many tweets. And so it's like, it's not too late because we're going to need some soldiers. You know, from the universe's perspective, it's like, we're going to need some soldiers. You know, everybody can't like, yeah, you put it this way. We're going to need some soldiers. You might have fucked up in some areas right here, but we willing to overlook that because what the power that you bring could help. Am I making sense? Because I'm trying to convey it like power, right? Tariq and Kane been at each other all show long, all 4 seasons. But when it came to Monet dying and getting back at Noma and Carter, they had to bury that. It's like, yeah, okay, we've been through our shit, but right now we need to focus on the greater good. Are we willing to do that, or do I have to kill you right now, Tariq? What's going on? Either you help me, and we can just bury this and move on, and just, okay, we done been through enough. You done been through enough. Or I'm going to just take you out right now since you not being of asset and you have the power to change and shift reality. Like, it's literally giving that for Justin right now. It's like a golden opportunity from the universe.
Mentors is the wrong word. Mentor, as I'm saying that, mentor is a horrible word. Somebody says the word mentor, think of a different word, teacher. Mentor means abuser to me. I've heard it so much in the industry when it comes to older men with younger boys, when the boys were on the street, that when I hear it, I go nuts. So go to Elton John when you're talking about Bieber. Go to Elton John. Go all the way down the history, the lineage of the music industry, and ask yourself, who partakes in what and who orchestrates and orders what?
Well, at least you know she monetized.
A question we get all the time is, how do you do culinary school online? And the way we do it is by focusing on technique. Taste and flavor is very subjective. Technique is not. What we also do is teach you how to taste your food. We'll talk to
you. And what happened? And why are these marriages so arranged? Because they're arranged. Now, Justin carries with him the shames and the sins of the father, whatever that means in the family history. Might not mean much, but just lineage with the Saturn conjuncting the sun, the sins of the father, all the way down. And he has a chance to stop it with his chart. He has a phenomenal chart of power if he allows that power to come through, if he allows it to come through. So my concern for Justin is that he doesn't feel he can ever recover. Now, this was something I learned as a kid. When you take a kid out of high school and young kid out of high school, 13, 14, and they date an older boy. And that boy is really trying to get them into some sort of sex work, okay? By telling them, you're going to be a model, take pictures of you, whatever it is. Put musician in there, put model, put actor, put whatever you want. When they do that and the person does these acts in order to get the career that they want because they don't have their frontal lobes developed, and they get the career that they want, they also carry the fact that they feel they cannot go back to who they were because they have been marked. So they feel marked on an energetic level. And that is where Justin, look at this shit on this video. That is where I'm staying blurred. I hate this when this happens. Oh God. Okay, I'm coming back in. All right, it drives me nuts. I'm in a train of thought and it blurs out. Justin is at this point where he feels as though he cannot come back from what he's done. I want him to know he can. He needs to pray right now, get on his hands and knees and beg for assistance and prayer to bring him out of his thinking, because his thinking is going to lead him down the wrong road. It is between November and his birthday in March, and it's probably the 8-week time frame, so that's 2 months after his birthday. And then I'm kind of hitting a wall with his energy. I feel like he needs our prayers, and I feel like he needs to be elevated, really elevated at this time, super elevated.
I just don't know if that's going to happen, though. I don't know. I don't know. Because all of the Diddy stuff, Diddy has opened up the door for so much to be talked about, and just all of that. It's just that even if Justin tries to ask for forgiveness and all of that, it's just the public, because I already mentioned to y'all that I don't feel like Diddy is going to go to prison. I feel like it's just a public takedown because he will incriminate too many other people. So even with Justin catching strays right now, there's a highlight on Justin, a spotlight rather on Justin. And that's just going to be a conversation that's going to snowball. It's just going to continue snowballing. And it's going to be an earthquake for Justin. You're trying to reverberate in a positive energy, but you cannot escape the public takedown of Diddy and all of the strays that you're going to catch from that. I don't know, y'all. I don't know.
You don't know the half of it. He's been trying to speak out on it, and he is bullied. He is a bully. If you are a mother of a young entertainer, don't hand them over. You have to know as a female, I'm a female, and I've always known this, you don't give your kid over to strange people because they're famous, and least of all men. And you sure shit don't give custody. We're going back to Steven Tyler and that girl that her parents gave him like, what are you giving a musician custody for? What do you think they want to do to your child? Better them? No. So when we're looking at Justin Bieber, Usher was given custody of him. Nobody should be going to an Usher show. Nobody should be doing that. Nobody. Stop supporting these people and the liquor companies that support them, because they're all owned by liquor companies. Why liquor companies? Because liquor is accepted in this country as a relaxation thing, and it opens portals in the body. That's the reality of it. So if we have a company supporting somebody like Usher, liquor company, then we're okaying it. So we're getting the people two ways. Stop supporting him. He took custody of Justin Bieber. What kind of person does that? And I'm being serious. I'm a mother. I have kids. I have grandkids. I'm being serious. And then he gave custody. So Usher, who ended up injured from Diddy, allegedly, gave custody of Justin Bieber to Diddy to harm. Nobody who does that should be making a penny off our backs. And Justin needs prayer to raise him up and to speak regardless of what he's done. It can be forgiven because he is a victim of circumstance, parental.
Did I not say that at the beginning?
And otherwise, all the way throughout his life. So this entire planet has been hijacked by good and evil, and he's in the middle of it. But I worry for him. So 2 months after his birthday, March, April, May, that's the time frame. So November to May, it's in that 6-month period. All right, y'all, that is my first video on Justin Bieber. I just had to get it out of my head, so I got it out of my head. And I will be back later in the week with a surprise guest. I'm not going to tell you who. And once again, my name is Sloan from SloanBella.com.
Let's go through the comments. Can we remember Justin's baby needs prayers and protection? That baby is a new soul, they're innocent and only mean love and kindness. Can you do Wendy next? I wonder if there's something sinister behind her dementia. I went to elementary school with Bieber. You mentioned he's the key. I felt it for a while now. Justin Bieber is an unlock for the masses. The collective watched this kid since the beginning, and he, for the most part, has our hearts. If he speaks his truth, as you say, it will not only shine a light on the darkness that was ruled this planet for so long, but he can show the collective how he can forgive, accept, and integrate the darkness in all of us. And granted, the energy that she might be picking up on as to why she cannot pick up on anything outside of May might be because his energy and consciousness and all of that, like, is reborn after he repents and then, you know, shares the truth. I've been done with Usher since I found out he knowingly infected people with herpes. That's another thing that a lot of people forgot about. Do y'all not remember that case? You can literally see the light leave Justin's eyes in his late teens. I could tell he was dealing with some demons around that time in his early 20s because he always seems so angry. The trauma young celebs go through in order to obtain success simply isn't worth it. Come on, 777. I'm so glad I seen Justin Bieber in prayer and worship. Yeah, man. Yeah.
I want to sit on that. I don't want to speak anymore on that. I want to sit with that, but I find that very, very interesting that those dates is all around the same time frame of fall, like the fall equinox. I find it extremely interesting. But like I said, I want to sit with that and figure out exactly what that means. Okay. So yeah, let's go back to this video. Like to that. Which are not me, boy? If I can find an example. That child. I said in that original. I doubt that. Hard. A hard fact thing. Like anytime you Google Justin, that Haley's automatically this news. That child. I said in that original video from months ago. It's October now. When did I do that video? May? So what was that child is going to be the reason Justin speaks up. Oh. Don't take this as gospel. There could be a threat on the child. Looming threat. There could be a looming threat on the child on taking the child's innocence, like either raping or killing the child or someone close to Justin.
as you saw, I'm just going back to this video to see to try and remember what I said in this video, because at that time I was feeling death. I was feeling dark energy and I was feeling death. And so yeah, I was trying to make sense of it. But it might not be the kid, it might be Justin. Like someone said.
I'm not putting that out there. I'm not saying that's what's going to happen. I'm telling you, I said that whatever I felt, whatever came to me during this video, I was going to say. But looming, I have to keep going back to looming, a looming fear. So now I'm getting Neptune 12th house. So it could be very, does Justin have Neptune in his 12th house? Let me see. Justin Bieber, 12th house. Is Neptune going to transit his 12th house? Justin's moon is in the 12th house in Libra. Well, we're in Libra season right now, aren't we? No. Wait, yes. Bitch, I am motherfucking psychic. Hold on, let me put this back on screen. Okay. Bitch. This is why I said I would just let it flow free and I'm gonna just talk. Because let's look at his 12th house. So he has moon in his 12th house, right? And it's in Libra. So let me see. He got moon in his 12th.
Now the charts are contradicting between the chart that I had pulled up and the chart that Sloan had pulled up.
House. And Justin. Yeah, that could be completely unrelated. I can't sleep. I'm having trouble sleeping from nightmares, from PTSD. That's why I brought up 12th house, because I was feeling that. Like I kept seeing 12th house and Neptune. It feels very like I can't breathe. I can't sleep. I'm having trouble sleeping. I'm not eating. I'm having to take pills. Maybe drinking, but trying to stay away from drinking because there could be a problem there where it might be alcohol abuse. Something about a car crash too, a fatal car crash is coming to me. That could be completely unrelated. Yeah, that could be completely unrelated. Or that could be a way to cover up. That could be completely unrelated. But nonetheless, though, what I'm getting from Justin is, like I said, I feel like he has this looming fear that something's going to happen to his child. It's kind of like one of them things where you have this child, you don't really know if you're ready for the child. You feel like it's going to be a blessing. And one day that you just snap out of the fantasy. It's like, okay, fantasy's over. Rug pull from underneath you. You thought you were about to go on and live your happy little life, house on the prairie, you know, and I almost feel like indifferent. Kind of like you've lost all hope. You don't really know. And I'm speaking about Justin. Like, it's not like I'm looking forward to this marriage and this life if it means I'm not gonna have to feel pain anymore. But like at the same time, I'm so used to it. It's like I'm indifferent. It's just like whatever. Then when you finally get adjusted to it, you're like, okay, this is okay, whatever. I have something to look forward to. We're gonna be married, we're gonna have this kid, we're gonna do this thing, and you're living in this fantasy, and then the bug gets pulled from underneath you. And then it's just like, hey, remember this? Remember all of these demons and this trauma that you try to hide over here? Yeah, come deal with this. Come deal with this. And that's why I feel like it's just like one of them things where you realize, like, because sometimes I guess like we all try to be like, oh, I'll never do that to my kids. My mother was this way, my father was this way. When I have a kid, I'm not doing this, that, and the third to them. I'm gonna treat them, you know, with respect and da da da. And then you have kids, and then the reality of life kind of sets in because you're human, they're human, da da da, right? It's kind of almost like that. Yeah. Blackmail. It. I do feel like he's going to be in trouble. Blackmail. To not speak. I don't know if they're holding. See, and that's. It's like a hostage situation. But like, I don't know. It's given more like another Fall Guy case. Like Justin gets in trouble, but like what he's in trouble for isn't really as bad as it seems. It's more of like a shut up type of thing, so that more doesn't come out. Because here's the thing: everybody that gets exposed, they've gotten so far and gone so long with doing whatever it is that they were doing because there's hundreds of other people involved as well. But we take the most famous person and we use them as the fall guy, so it doesn't fall back on everybody else. And so if Diddy goes down and Diddy sings and Justice sings, it's a lot of other people that could go down, right? So it's kind of like the same thing with Diddy, where it's like we're going to make sure that you pay and you kind of are the sacrificial lamb. And it's not denying any involvement. It's just saying, yeah, to not blow the lid up, blow the case of the world up. So yeah. That's it. That's it for now. This is the son is in the he's 25 in 2026 and health issues by turning to God, spirituality, and taking time for himself. Yep. The moon in the 12th requires retreat, but also requires spiritual practice in a relationship with fools and cousins is walking around with unhealed trauma. Oh yeah, that makes complete sense. And over. So I don't know if like and not necessarily in book, Kim reveals that she was in a three-way.
Okay, that's it. That's why I'm in this video. So hope y'all enjoyed this. Okay, pray for Justin Bieber. Gotta keep an eye on Selena. Patreon.com/Santana. I'll see y'all hoes in the next one. Bye.
Booty